You are listening to Charting Cryptos and Currencies. Let's jump into these charts. We always start with Bitcoin, although I do have oil up on the screen. It's one commodity I'm going to show you, oil and gas, when we get to it. Although we've been leaving commodities out lately, but occasionally I'll throw some in just for fun. What's up with Bitcoin? Down for the day. This 24-hour-a-day Bitcoin chart, you can see it's a big down week. Down 4.98%. Look at this two-day chart as things on the two-day. Yep, that's the two-day. We look at, why is that not registering? Something's weird there. Okay, there we go. It wasn't flipping over. On Monday, we had a big, look at all that volume and look at all that down movement, particularly that low wick. And then we see on Wednesday, just Wednesday, all this down movement, big down candle. You can see as the move's been accelerating on the 195-minute chart, starting at 04:45 a.m., where we saw it first go red, then at 8 a.m., then 11:15, and then 2:30, this 195-minute, 24-hour-a-day chart. Things had really tracked down strong starting on Monday the 24th. And then as we got into Tuesday the 25th and into the evening, and then of course early morning hours accelerating down again. So Bitcoin, lots of downward pressure. Of course, we track the Bitcoin ETF HODL each and every day. And we've given you on our daily recordings, we've told you about where things are and where the break point and jumping points are. Jumping in right now on this down move that's already established till you hit some levels where passing through is going to actually give you a modicum of some safety as it pushes through resistance, where you can attribute the greater likelihood of a lot more down movement is extremely important. But Bitcoin, as the pullback continues, Bitcoin is moving down. Now, of course, what are we waiting for? At some point, if you're not going short, it will stop and we'll have a chance to go long, and that we'll be looking for also. What about Ethereum? Ethereum pulling back quite a bit, 5.79% just now. It went from 0.73 to 0.79 just now. You can see big down week. Had a big down week back on the week beginning the 3rd of February. Slid sideways last 2 weeks, and then this week stroking down again. And again, like Bitcoin, you saw where it pumped up a little bit on Tuesday afternoon and then rolled over starting early Wednesday morning. So again, a lot of downward pressure on both Bitcoin and Ethereum. What does that track then to mean with BITW? That is Bitwise. We're back to ETFs now. This is the ETF that tracks the top 10 crypto funds weighted as per market share. So the big dog is, of course, Bitcoin, followed way down the line by Ethereum. And as they go down, you can expect, again, BITW to be going down. It's down more than any of those today, 6.24%, Vice 4.78 and 5.55 with Bitcoin and Ethereum respectively. So again, lots of downward pressure on the cryptocurrency markets. Now, I said I'd show you a little bit on a couple of commodities. One is oil. We saw oil peak back on the week beginning the 13th of January, then a green spinning top beginning the 21st of January after Martin Luther King Day. And boy, since then, oil just tracking down strong. One of the biggest weeks so far that we've seen in oil since the beginning of the year going down. So again, oil tracking down. Hopefully that's reflecting at the pumps. And what do we see with gas itself? Well, it's down today alone 1.11%. It had been sliding along sideways, popped up a little bit back on the week beginning the 3rd and the 10th of February. And then starting the 18th, this latest rollover, it's mostly occurred this week with all of the down movement. You can see where it started actually on Friday morning, the 21st of February, and just has kept going. Now, let's take a look at world currencies. We got three of them for you. Our three favorites, The British pound, it again last week hit a high of, let me see here, 121.92. This week 122.18, so it's gone a little higher with a smaller candle. But look, not a lot of volume supporting that. Not a lot of volume supporting it on the 2-day chart either, and not a lot of volume on the half day. Nothing really pumping that up for the day. It was barely up 0.05%, but we have hit a higher high this week, again, with not a lot of volume helping us. But that's what the pound's up to after getting pounded starting there on the 16th of December and moving down strong through mid-January. It has recovered some. We look at where we are on the euro. It's down 0.28% for the day. But again, that 2-day chart for the last many days trying to move up, but you can see where the volume's been decreasing on the 2-day since the 20th. And since things popped up with volume in that sketchy week, the 3rd of February, we'd gone up for 2 weeks prior. Then starting on the week, the 3rd of February, had a pullback in the euro. Lots of volume, but then it found its way to move back up again. But as far as clearing the highs, it's right about where its high has topped out here for the last many, many weeks. So we'll see what the euro ends up doing, of course, with the Ukrainian war potentially coming to an end, with Europe sort of in a bit of turmoil. Germany government changing over, the government that's not been around so long in the UK, and all the other crazy things that are going on with Russia, with Ukraine, with the ending of the war, with President Trump's edicts. Be interesting to see what happens with the pound. Now, what about the Japanese? They have been seeing the yen going up, 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 up in value. You might say, hey, that's great. Well, Japanese like to keep the yen down. Why? Because they like exports. They don't like the yen to be super expensive, and it has been tracking up the last few weeks, pulling back a little bit for the day, 0.06%. We see the high last week was 61.96. This week, 62.11. So it's gone a little bit higher. Decent volume. So again, I keep expecting the Bank of Japan to get a handle on this. You can see, look at where it's gone up to. Do you think it hit its interim high if you go back to the 2nd of December? The Japanese were able, after the yen carry trade started failing, the yen popped up back in July, jammed up to a high in September, mid-September. Then they were able to press it down. It popped up, but look what it popped to, about where it is right now. And then they were able to jam it back down again. I wonder, would going short in anticipation of it being jammed down again be a bad idea? I don't know. Something for you to think about. You might want to look at practice trading that. Going short the yen. I don't know if it would happen, but sure happened before. Sure might be a level of resistance. Might be something to be looking at. Just a suggestion. Again, we're not a stock calling service. We're darn sure not an international currency calling service. We're just a little education firm here. Want you to practice and learn. Doesn't cost you anything except 10 to 15 minutes each and every day. God bless my friends. All the best from everyone at chartingwealth.com.